Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ola and I'm your personal finance fitness blog. If this is your first time on my channel, welcome, and basically what I do on this channel is to explain economics and finance in simple English. But today I will be telling you my own investing journey. Come along. So I started off as a copper in a company called Kakawa Discount House, and before that, of course, I was in University of Lagos, yay, Unilag. And while in school, did I do any form of investing? Not really. But I did some business. So at some point, I and my sister, we did toast, we made toast at some point, but we did that for one semester and we got bored. I'm like, okay, moving on. And it was really opportunistic. It wasn't for a need, really, because we had a toaster that we brought from home and we used to make toast from time to time, and people would just randomly smell the toast and say, do you sell toast? Do you sell toast? And then one like, okay, what's stopping us? Buy a crate of egg and buy bread from the bakery and start. And so we did that for a while. But then we did that for, well, really a while, a semester really. But then by the time we went on holiday, I came back to school, we had forgotten about it, like moving on, but it was fun and we made money and it was good. And I think that was about it for me when it got to investing. Apart from, okay, yes, my mother bought some shares for me, that I'm not even sure where they are right now. We all have those stories and we don't even know how those stocks are performing, so yes, I'm one of those people. But then when I got into Kakawa, of course, I started as a copper, and I was earning the pay of an intern, which was very basic, and and my mom used to support me, like, just to make sure that I was very comfortable. And then by the time I became a full staff, and I was comfortable, like I was like, okay, I have money now. First thing, okay, upgrade my wardrobe. Like, I need to look like a full staff now. I'm a banker, and all. And I've so I would change my wardrobe, of course, and then sometimes it's so stressful. Why are we taking bus? Let's take cab. And I realized that my expenses just grew with my income, and it wasn't like I was necessarily doing anything extraordinary. I just felt like I had more. I had more to give people. I had more to spend. I could eat in restaurants more regularly, and it was just a lifestyle change. Basically, it wasn't necessarily that I was doing anything extravagant, but then at some point I realized that, because I knew a lot about saving and investing while in school. So I was like, okay, at this point, where am I going to draw the line? It was very blurry, because at some point I'm like, okay, payday, I'm looking for payday. So at some point I had to have a conversation with myself, and I just drew the line. Okay, Ola, just stop. What you have not bought right now and you don't need, do not buy. And so I truly became a minimalist when it comes to spending, and I still am till today. And if I don't need it, why am I spending money on it? If it'll make you feel good, but it doesn't necessarily add value to me, I'm not raising the money in my pockets just for that, And I really became a minimalist, and they got to a point where I was able to grow enough, like in my career, to be able to say that, okay, I'm not going to spend more than my lifestyle of 2 paychecks ago, and it really helped me a lot. And to buttress that point, I remember one scenario that really stuck in my head. I was reading for my CFA exam, so now I'm a CFA charter holder. It's a global finance certification, and I was studying with a friend of mine, and the exams come in June, and I think it was like March, and I've been reading from the previous year, and it was March, and I was really tired, and I'm like, okay, I need a break. I need to travel soon, so that I can come back in time to reset for the exams. I just went online, bought a ticket immediately. And how much was it? I was going to the UK. How much? 120k. Now, guys, see that 120k, think about it subjectively. That was like, say, 6-7 years ago. I put it to you right now that there is no ticket going anywhere near the UK that you can spend 120k on. What that tells you is that, first of all, the value of your money has eroded. I think about it, like 6-7 years ago, let's say that was like what, 2011, maybe 100k would have been like, let's say, $500, right? Then I put it to you that 100k is like what, $200 right now. Yeah, estimate about $200 right now. So that just tells you how much the value of your money has gone. And imagine if you had 100K in your account in 2011, 2012, right? And you felt like you had money. I put it to you that you've lost like 50-60% of the value of that money just by leaving it in your account. So that is really why I'm very particular about investing. So really what happened was I put my ticket and she goes, Ola, you just bought a ticket. I'm like, yeah, I'm working. I've been working for what, like 5-6 years? Yes, I bought a ticket. And then she goes, how did you just buy a ticket? How can you just buy it? I can't do that. I'm like, why? And she goes, she doesn't have cash. Like, why don't you have cash? And then she explained that she had expenses. She was buying expensive hair, of course, and then of course she was a giver. She liked to give. So if anybody comes with any bill, she would give. Anything she would give, and she was really cool. But it wasn't working for her financially, and it really stuck because I was really amazed because she was earning more than I was, and her bonus was better than mine, and so I would automatically have assumed that you should have more money, you should literally have cash, but it wasn't the case, and that's really a fact that it's not really about how much you make, right? It's about how much you save out of how much you make. Like if you make everything and spend everything, you are literally on your own, because a year like 2020 can happen and the wind will blow and you'll be so shocked that what you thought you were on one high ground and you just realize that if you don't have cash, you are hanging on the wind, really. And so yeah, that really butchers that fact, and I was really proud of myself at that point. But then in terms of investing, so that was about my personal finances and saving, and then about investing. So what I used to do at that time, and what I started to do, and I still do, but I just scaled it up, is that I used to invest in treasury bills. So I used to invest in treasury bills. I would invest in mutual funds. I would buy equity. I'll buy stocks on the exchange. And then another thing that I used to do at that time was I had friends that started off businesses. So I had friends that had business ideas that I put money into. I had friends that I would give loans to, and it has been a journey. That's really how I have been for close to 10 years right now. But the question is, do you think I've not lost money? Like, is it possible that I've not lost money in those 10 years? I've lost money. I've lost money. The first one, stock markets, right? You see that stock market, I understand. I really understand. When people are aware of the stock market, I understand. But the thing I would tell you is that every loss is supposed to be a class. If you don't learn anything from it and you pull back, it's double jeopardy, right? You need to be educated. And I have realized that at the point where I actually sat down, I had a theory. I'm a CFA charter holder. I have an accounting background. I had a theory. But when I sat down to actually start looking at the market and I looked at the history of the losses that I had made, I understood why it was a wrong time to do that, or why I shouldn't have bought that particular name. I understood. So you have to turn every loss into a class, or else if you take a loss and you pull back and leave your money in your bank account, that is what is called double jeopardy. Now that's for stock markets. Then for friends that I was putting money in their business, that one is a bigger story. So I have the ones that, okay, legitimately it's not their fault and it happens. Policy came and the business idea just went with policy. All our money, everything gone. What can we all say? We are still young, we keep it moving. Then the ones that you give them money, they come for loan. Oh, I just want it for this, I'm expecting this money, blah 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 blah, I'll pay you this, blah blah blah. Okay, take. And then they don't pick your calls anymore. And then you see them at some friend or family event and they just act like nothing happens. And then you call them, you don't want to make a fuss, you're trying to be civil, or you're trying to let's just be polite, and then you realize, oh, my money has gone. And it got to a point where I stopped that whole friend, if you're my friend, be sure I'm not giving you money, like be sure, and it's understandable. However, I look back and I look back and I have learned from those things. I realized that a lot of things I should have done differently or I could have done differently in that process that will make them less likely to have the guts to run away from me. Some people are still crazy any which ways, like, yeah, and you can't, there's nothing you can do, right? But it would have made it less likely. There's some structures I could have put in place and some questions I could have asked that would have thrown out the fact that this person was not serious, if you understand what I mean. And I did a clip on the questions I asked before I put my money in equity and questions I asked before I put my money in fixed income. It was on the back of his experiences that I learned that there's some specific questions, and when the answers don't sound right, no matter how compelling an emotional or whatever the person is, if those answers don't sound right, don't bother, or just take it as seed, give it to this person and say, I've given you, take it as a seed, just be going, let there be peace. But if you really want your money to be preserved, you need to ask the right questions. So watch those videos, like 3 of them and all. And so I learned, and that's the most important thing. You learn, you have to grow. Okay, that was that. But then the thing that I know that I never lost money on was fixed income, and that was because my fixed income investment really treasury bills, government securities, and treasury bills have really helped our lives if we will be truthful, like, right? Especially for a young person in the past 10 years, treasury bills has really helped our lives, helped our investment story, and brought a lot of stability to our investment journey, and fortunately, unfortunately, good for the economy, but we all have to recalibrate. Sometime last year, there was some policy that just resulted in rates crashing, and it's good for everybody, so let's just take it like geez, yeah. Why am I telling this story? Because I have made money, I've lost money, but I have not focused on the losses. I have fought my way through to a point where my profit is more than my loss. Now you might say that it's because I'm a finance person, but it's not true. You don't think that people that are in banking or in finance or investing or in asset management invest their own money. They might invest other people's money, but they are not everyone is particular about their own personal finance and investing, right? But the reason why I'm actually doing this video is because you can't pull back. You can't afford to pull back. If you look at it objectively, even when it comes to private equity and investing in people's businesses or business ideas or small businesses that are trying to grow, look at it objectively. Most of the people that you see as goals when it comes to the wealth that they have, the amount of boards that they are on, and all that, you find that they are a clique. You find that they are invested in people's businesses that are their friends. You find that they will talk about, you think, oh, I know this person is my friend, and then one day they start talking like, I knew this person 20 years ago, 30 years ago, right? How did it happen? It was that in the crowd, they were able to identify the people that were going somewhere, and they put their money in quickly, right? And so that's basically what I'm saying today. You can't afford to pull back. There will be bumps. Take all those losses and convert them into class, convert them into school, and learn from them. Now, what I find is that a lot of people don't really want to engage. Like, you can be like the smartest person, you can be an engineer, you can be a science person, that you can read all those all those carbon, all those codes that look like Greek when we're in school. You can read all those things, but see, when it comes to finance, which is basically addition, subtraction, multiplication, they just blank out. They literally just tell me what I should do, and I'll do it. Tell me where to move money to, I'll do it. Oh, you say it is good, okay, I'll do it. But they don't actually process it through their minds. But it is important. You can't outsource your health and your finances. You just can't. Somebody can't tell you, take this thing, drink it, and you drink it, and you don't even ask what is inside. You don't even ask where it came from. Think about it. It's the same thing with your finances, because see, if you invest in the wrong thing, and all your money gets wiped out, you can be sick. It can actually be sickness. It can actually be termed a medical condition, right? And if you retire at 60, think of someone that retired 10 years ago and had 10 million naira and left that 10 million naira in the bank looking. I put it to you that if that money could have bought him a house or a flat somewhere, right? Today he will be paying rent. He can't buy any house in that same area with that same money. And that is the reality, and that's what I'm saying, that you have to learn and see. If you're still young, see, if you're not up to 50, in fact, even if you're 50, there's still 10 years to retirement. You can do it, right? But you have to start, and you have to start now. I repeat, you cannot outsource your health and your finances, so you have to engage. That is one of the reasons why this channel is here. If you have questions, if you need any form of support, I'll drop my email in the description box. If you want to know where to start from, send me an email and we can talk. But you need to be intentional. I'll continue with my educational videos in my next recording, but this is just me connecting with you guys and saying, let's do this. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the notification button so you know the next time I'm coming with something for you. And I'll be seeing you next week. Bye.